What is going on, guys? Joey here, and today I wanted to talk about missing weights in the gym. Really, should it happen? What do you do if it happens? What does it mean? And just kind of talk about the mental aspect of it a little bit. Where should we start? Let's see. So you go to the gym and you miss a lift. You're just kind of like in robot mode. You're not paying attention to like the weights you're hitting. And before you got to the gym, right, so I'm going to name all the mistakes. You already said to yourself, I'm hitting this weight. I don't care how I feel. I'm going to hit this weight. But all your variables are off. Not all of them, but you get it. Maybe like you didn't sleep and you didn't eat the day before. So you just didn't have any juice coming in for today. So you go in, you take your last warm-up, you don't even look at the video, and you just, you can't really you're just kind of out of it, right? Maybe you didn't take pre-workout, your mind is fuzzy. So you just say, screw it, and then you load a weight that you shouldn't load, and then you miss it. Hopefully you don't get hurt, but let's say you miss the weight, and a couple things are going to happen. And everybody handles this differently, but I think over time, you can sort of train yourself to get better at dealing with when you do miss a weight or make a mistake. So you miss the weight, and one, you get really emotional. You're really, really sad about it. You get super upset. You feel like a failure because, in our mind, like, what is a miss, right? It's rejection. It feels just like screwing up on a test or doing something bad at work, or maybe you grew up and you just always had trouble with messing up or failure. Missing lifts in powerlifting kind of brings that back, right? It brings back those negative thoughts. It brings back it just puts you in a place mentally that you don't like to be. So you get really emotional, and then maybe you don't even do your workout. You just you're such a mess. You just go home. This is a real thing. This has happened before. Some of you might be thinking, why would you ever do that? Doesn't make sense. That's complete waste of a day, whatever. Everybody deals with adversity differently, and I think one of the cool things about powerlifting is the more times you deal with those tough moments, you can get better at it, better at it. And then you get to a point where you just deal with stuff like that super well. And you don't really have to you stay on track basically. And that's really the whole point of all this, is to teach you to stay on track even when the going gets tough, right? Another thing that could happen is, you go in the gym and you miss a weight and you go, dang, I didn't even pay attention to my last warm up. What am I doing? I'm on autopilot. I better lock in now and wake up, because I got a meet coming up and I want to be on track for that, right? So you lower the weight, really, really, really lower it, and maybe you only do 2 back down sets, and you tell your coach, "What up, coach? I came in today. I fucked up. It takes a special type of person to be able to say that, right? To be able to say, I made a mistake. I missed a weight, right? I let the ego get me. I just wasn't as present as I should be, and I made a mistake." So you tell your coach that, you lower the weight, and then so what I would do is I would say, all right, no problem. You didn't get hurt. You did the right thing by lowering the weight. Just got to pay a little bit more attention last time. Stop at your last warm up. Moving forward, right? So you get that lesson, and then the next time it happens, you are better equipped now to make the right decision when you get in this situation. You know what I mean? And the whole point of this, well, let's go back. When you miss a weight, if it's an AMRAP and you go to absolute failure, in my opinion, if it's 5 reps plus, that is going to tax you way more than you just attempt a single and doesn't move the ground, it doesn't break from the ground, or, there's different kinds of misses, right? You could sit there with a squat, and you literally just like, you just fail it like really bad, and you sit there and you're just like, it feels shitty, right? So let's say if it's just a single, it's not going to tax you that much. It's really not. You're going to take it easy the rest of the day, and you're probably just going to have to do like a very small percentage of your next workout, chill, and you'll be fine. If that, right? You might not even miss a beat. You might literally be better in 48 hours. If it was on like a volume set, which is, believe it or not, it's like it's uncommon, not as common, because you see it coming, right? You're going through those reps. It's getting harder. It's getting harder, getting harder. And then eventually you get to a weight that is just a little bit too much. You end up failing the weight, and, it is what it is. But as long as you didn't get hurt and it was just a single, it's really not that big a deal. In football, we used to say have a short-term memory. Just forget it. Like, okay, it happened. I mean, you remember it in the back of your mind, but emotionally, forget it. Don't, you're going to build up resistance to those situations over time the more that you deal with them, but you don't want that to cascade into now you're going to have a bad day. You're going to go be mean to a loved one or be shitty at work because you just missed a weight in the gym. It's not that serious. You know what I mean? And I know it feels serious because this is like our life, but you just got to take the lesson from it, adjust, and then just keep moving. And usually the emotion that is behind the failure, it is not just because you failed a weight in the gym. It is other stuff in your life that is boiled up or built up. And then when you have that negative emotion that comes from you missing the lift, it comes out when you miss the lift in that moment. That just kind of pushes you over the edge. Like, you know what? I'm done. I can't handle it. And then you just break down. But at the end of the day, I understand that emotions come and go, and it can be temporary. You simply have to keep moving. Just, go with that second scenario. It's not going to screw up your training. You can literally fail a lift pretty damn close to a meet if it's just a single and still do absolutely fine at the meet, right? Let me see what I have here in my notes. Don't always have notes. But yes, it's not something that you want to linger. And I think building the practice, the mental reps of you get humbled on a set, you go in the gym and you're not as strong as you think. You go into a meet and you thought you buried that squat and the judges took it away. That sucks. That really sucks, right? Like, fuck, I worked so hard to come here and hit these weights, and now it's getting taken away from me. It can happen, it can literally happen to anyone. I've seen it happen to the literal best. But I think what will get you through those tough times and show a lot of character is the way that you handle those moments, and just showing, stoicism, or literally just, all right, shit didn't go my way. Shit happens, just like in any sport. And I'm just going to take it on the chin, and I got to move on to the next lift now. It's time to bench, right? So I think like I said, it takes time and practice, but if you just understand that it is not the end of your career, you will get past it. But you want to make sure that you're not doing that consistently, because if you're failing multiple times in a short period, it can add up. Because now you might need to really address that. You're going to have to deload, right? And when you're deloading, you're not stimulating new growth. I mean, you're allowing for recovery to happen, but if you do that for too long, you're going to actually start to detrain because you're just doing so much less than what you need to actually move forward. So I hope this video was somewhat helpful. Just keep your head up, guys. It happens sometimes. It is not, like I said, I mean, obviously if you get hurt, everything goes out the window and you got to fix that. So let's avoid that. Thank you so much for making it this far. If you guys are curious how my, thing went last week, I'm feeling a lot better, and I'm hoping, over the coming months that I am back and better than ever. But anyway, Good luck to everybody competing at Raw Nationals next week. I will not be there. I must be home. I must recover and prepare for a big 2024. But to everybody else, I want you guys to go into this like it might be the last one that you do. For some of you, I know that it is. Not everyone, but you just want to enjoy every moment. Enjoy the fact that you're here, you're healthy, you're able to compete. If you're in prime time, you're listening to your music. And I'm really excited for the next coming years of powerlifting. There's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff and great opportunities I feel coming. And, this year marks 10 years doing this. My first meet actually was 10 years ago this month. I think it's coming up in a couple of days. So exactly 10 years ago is when I did my first meet ever. I was lifting for a while before that. I mean, I was lifting since I was like 13, but it's pretty crazy. And I've just been really like trying to think about the last decade and how much everything has changed. And man, it's so crazy how powerlifting generations change. So anyway, it's going to be excited. I hope some of you guys could be here for at least, the next 5 years. Because I know a lifter's career, it all depends, right? Depends how old you are, depends on your life situation. Those lifters that I coach, and I'll cut after this, I promise. Those lifters that I coach that are 19, 20, I'm like, shit, man, like they're probably still going to be here in 10 years, right? That's 10% of your life, so maybe 12%. So it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm thankful for the journey. For those of you that have been listening for a long time, man, you guys know me, right? You guys have been listening to my voice for years, and you guys have seen all the different, phases and things that we've gone through, and it's just been a crazy ride. And yeah, I'm just excited for the next 10. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.